Welcome everyone. I know that people are just starting to join. There's Holly and Megan and Deb. So yay, technology is our friend.
Yes,
Today.
and they're both on.
Yes. Speaking of friends, first of all, if you haven't joined us in the past, I am Melissa McLeod here in Grosse Pointe Woods at the Wool and the Floss. We are a creative escape for all stitchers. And today I have two of my creative people in the building. Lauren, walk around here, snuggle in with us. So most of you know I've had a long time, fantastic relationship with my good friend Megan Holmes, the owner of the Needlepoint Clubhouse, and now the owner of, which came first? Gingham Stitchery.
Gingham Stitchery.
And then also the owner of Susan Roberts. She's completely left me in the dust. She's 10 years younger than I am. She has way more energy than I do. And she's fantastic. And because of Megan, I've had the good pleasure to get to know Lauren DeVue, who many of you know as Sequin Lala.
That's me.
But actually, you also need to know the little bit of a backstory. I originally met Lauren because she was Stitch Club Ornament Exchange Partners with Liz when you were living in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, I think I was pregnant and I was up here for a work trip because I was designing some custom fixtures and that company was in Detroit. And I was like, no, I need to go to Wool and the Floss because I've never been there before and I wanted, and Liz was my partner and running this was like before the Instagram hoopla and all that stuff.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah. So that's how we first met.
and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. And speaking, so this is a little back ordered, but we're just gonna say it anyway. Speaking of being pregnant, lovely Krissy Johnson is here with us with 2/3
Grown baby.
Yep. So yay. Very
She's hard
exciting.
launching 2 babies today.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. So they flew in last night, came to visit us. We went out to dinner. We had a fabulous time together.
Played Mahjong.
We played Mahjong. We retaught, I shouldn't say we, really, Lauren retaught Chrissy how to play Mahjong. Yep. Then the smart girl went to bed at 9:30. We stayed up till midnight playing Mahjong.
Yeah.
Lauren pretty much beat me every time. I think I had one minor
That's
win.
not true. Good time.
But it felt like I lost every time. And maybe it's because the one who we taught won.
Yes, you did.
I won one game. Yeah, that was cool.
It was kind of fun. So, and I've jumped all over the place. So, Lauren is, what's your technical title?
Boss lady.
That's it. No, so I run the Gingham Stitchery.
Okay, I didn't know like if you had a fancy title. Megan kind of likes fancy titles, so.
I have 3 jobs at under the umbrella. So this.
Well, let's focus on Gingham Stitchery.
Yes, I run the line.
Okay.
Yes.
So she is the boss lady in charge of the Gingham Stitchery. Chrissy started out as, did you do the canvas design
Canvas first. Yep.
So it's some canvas designs first. Then she came out with the Essentials, which was so due in the industry. When we heard about this, I literally think I jumped up and down. And this was out last market, right? Last November?
Last fall, a year ago, Mark.
Maybe it wasn't November, maybe it was October, September, whatever month it was. Fall market last year. And what did you and I figure out? That we sold over 200 of them, I
It was
think?
almost. It was like 280 or 260 or something like
Okay.
that at the Wool and the Floss.
So they very graciously offered to say, when the new book comes out, can we roll it out at your store? I'm like, can we? What do you mean? Like, you're going to give me that honor? I'm so excited. So here we are. So we're here with, so Chrissy started a canvas design, and we're going to talk a little bit about, we got to tell people your real background.
Okay.
Else. People
Yes.
like to know all that stuff.
Yes.
I love to know that stuff about people, so I'm assuming
I
everybody
agree.
else does. And so we'll talk about some of her canvas designs. We're going to talk about her original book. I was going to say old book, but it's not old in any way, shape, or form. Her original book
They
plus
serve
her
2 different purposes.
They
book
absolutely do.
2, and then some other fantastic Gingham Stitchery canvases that were hand selected by Chrissy and Lauren because they're so perfect to work in combination with the books.
Yep.
So we have the original book in stock. We have the new book available for purchase. We have this mini trunk show here for a week. It is here through October 1st. And all the canvases are 20% off. So I think that's kind
exciting.
of logistics. So I will just throw in some like boring, like fine print, like on those radio ads that go. The books, both books are still are available on our website right this moment. So if you're like already like, oh my God, I'm sold. I loved the first book. I want the second one. Hop on over to the website and order. If you want to see a canvas you like, We will take live orders for those. The trunk show will be live probably starting tomorrow because we've got to get these ladies on a plane. You got to leave around 5 o'clock, right? 5:30.
Yep.
So we may not ring up things tonight that people dibs on the live. So they will be rung up tomorrow. So we will combine orders from anything you order today and anything you might possibly order tomorrow. We will combine those together, ship them together. After that, like we kind of combine as we can do. We always do. It makes our lives simpler, but sometimes it makes our lives really, really, really hard. So if you want the book, go ahead and hop on over to the website and order away. And then we will combine it with anything else that you order that's in stock today or tomorrow. So hopefully that's good. We will take orders live for book 2 or book 1 if you would like, but it really makes my Flossettes' lives a lot easier and my life a lot easier if you can utilize the website. So sorry about that, but that's that. So I think it's time to get on with the fun.
I think you guys should really show what you're here to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your first book.
Yeah.
Well, let's back up a little bit. Tell us about your background.
Okay.
Tell us where you grew up.
Yeah.
What you've done for a living, your family life, what led you to
Blood type.
needlepoint, how long you've been needlepointing. No, we didn't care about the blood type. And tell us how the first
Book came to be. Okay.
the first baby was born.
Yes. Yes. So I am from Nebraska. I grew up in a very small town. I always did 4-H, so that's like, photography and cooking and different crafts. My mom was a seamstress, so some sewing crafts. I tried crochet,
Does she do
knitting.
your finishing for you?
No, I do my own.
Oh, of course you do. Of course you do. Okay,
I
go
took
ahead.
a really good class. Nashville Needlepoint has a very, very nice class.
That's great.
Yes. And I always like creating things. My day job is a manufacturing engineer, so taking something and turning it into something else has always been exciting to
Did
me.
you guys hear that? Engineer. Okay, go ahead.
So I work in St. Louis. I went to college in Missouri. I work in St. Louis as an engineer.
And you were a Theta. So
And we were
we're
both Thetas.
sisters.
Yes. I was like, I know you have some Theta canvases in the shop, and so they're in my cart now. And Kelly, so that's exciting.
Yes.
Yes, went to Mizzou and ended up in St. Louis engineering. And one time I was at the shop and I had painted a canvas as a gift for someone.
The shop being the Needlepoint Clubhouse.
Correct. And Megan said, "Oh, hey, I have some ideas. Would you mind mocking them up if you paint on canvases?" So I painted them, but then sorry, I'm interrupting. You're okay. I was like, I have a work trip. I can't come in for a week. Can you give me a week? And she was like, of course, no problem. And so I knew that I was like, okay, this feels like my shot. And so I painted for 15 hours one Sunday, all the ideas in my head, put them all on canvas. And so when I came in to show 2 canvases, I actually brought 30 canvases. And I was like, these are all
She
ideas.
is an overachiever. There's no doubt. I love
And
it.
they were like, 3D corn is so weird. Do you want to work with us? And I was like, yes. A lot of my canvases, I like to personalize. And so they come with charts, which I think can be, sometimes when I'm shopping and there's a chart on a canvas, it's been shop worn or maybe it's not there anymore. And so that inspired having a book too. So then this is at your house and you can customize it the way you want. Because what if I put a chart with a canvas that you're like, this doesn't work for my vision.
Right.
Now you
I
have
need
this.
something smaller because my words are longer.
Correct.
Et cetera, et cetera.
I have a Jack or I have a Mary Catherine. Those are 2 different size names. And so that was the impetus for this book. And I knew that there would be more. And so the thought behind this one is it's your basics. If you need some standard letters and you're going to personalize a couple things, this is yours. And then this next book is do you want to get crazy?
So let's talk just basic logistics again. This book has 34 pages. It probably has, I don't know, do you know offhand how many alphabets in it?
I don't.
34.
There you
Imagine that. 34. And not to confuse the situation, but it's $35. So there you go. And from the beginning, it was named Book 1. It has always said Book 1 on here. So many of you probably already own this. And so this is Book 1. If you've loved it, it's just such a good investment for sure.
It's mostly timeless stuff. Lauren made this pop-in pouch, so it has this is the craziest font in it. It's a big letter with a shadow, and so it's.
Wait, Lauren picked the craziest font in that book?
Yeah.
Shocking. Anyway, love Lauren.
And she beat it. Shocking.
Oh
and
my
it's perfect.
God.
Shocking.
And it's perfect is right. Oh my gosh. And yeah, amazing, amazing, so cute. So she
Yes.
brought that with her.
So to speak to like, that is as crazy as that book gets. It's very timeless. And so this book, you know, starts with some timeless and then it gets kookier as it goes on.
And speaking of kooky, like there's a lot that makes me think of the Addams Family.
Yes.
There's a lot of for you Halloween stitchers out there.
There's a
It's
whole
not
section.
all about Halloween, but there's a lot of fantastic
Yes,
Halloween.
more than
pieces in
5
there.
Halloween fonts.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, oh my god. So yeah, and there's some more classic,
Yes.
too, big, little, all sizes. So yeah, it's fantastic. So we're gonna dive into this book in great detail. You guys are gonna be like gobstruck over it. It's almost 200 pages.
We went
Don't
from
worry.
35 pages to 200 pages.
And don't worry, it's not $200. It is $68. Again, these are on our website. We will take orders here, but we'd love you to shop on the website too. So, okay.
Yeah, and this cover gives a hint. You can see some of these fonts are kind of curly or at an angle, and so that gives a hint that this one is getting.
Okay, so let's
Crazier.
dive in.
Okay, to begin, people who purchased the first book had some really helpful feedback on it. And the first was, can there be some more instructions or tips at the beginning? And so I started out with some tips of each font has a name followed by a number. And this is all written out in the book.
So here's your tips to get you started.
Yes. Not a novel, but a page. And that's to give you an idea of how many intersections high that font is, so that you know.
Because we as store owners get a lot of questions. They're like,
Yeah, what does
well,
17
wait,
mean?
I'm scared to do this. Can't you send it to your custom painter? Well, any store can probably do that, but half the time, at least here, what you're paying for is me to ship it to my custom painter and to ship it back. And it's not rocket science. And especially
Yeah.
if you have someone spoon feeding you, which Chrissy's book kind of does.
I tried.
It's easy. So you, instead of just like looking at some random chart on the internet, the World Wide Web, you have something that gives you, like, holds your hand.
Some ideas, yes.
Yeah.
And the last page of this book is a large QR code, and that takes you to my YouTube page, which I currently have one video up there now of like transferring a letter, and then I plan on adding more of how much more fun you can get with the stuff in the back of the book. And so, speaking with help, a lot of people will say, like, a number one question I get for a font is, will this fit in a blank? Like today someone came in and said, will this fit in a luggage tag? And so I made this chart here showing different self-finishing belts or 4-inch, like a 4-inch square or round. So if you have the tools of the trade round template, you'll know that to look for numbers, that number or smaller. And so I think that's helpful too, because for me, then that gives me a starting point. And I walk through that on the YouTube video. You don't have to memorize that today.
Yeah. So Chrissy was very thoughtful in utilizing our templates, which I think you already owned and we're using on the regular anyways. You know, they're not rocket science.
Well, I went
but
from
so
using
helpful.
a candle lid to using your templates, and I'm so grateful because my
you're like-
candle lid wasn't see-through, and I needed see-through.
And it didn't have center lines.
No,
and
I'm like
pinhole.
peeking. Yes.
Yeah, all the things. So she's utilized our templates quite a bit. And we have a brand new template set we're going to roll out today too, as well as the book, which I didn't even really talk about. So it's teeny tiny. So we'll talk about this in a minute. But
Yes.
yeah. So
I
there you go.
got to preview them, and then I've incorporated them into a sample today. So let's just walk through some fonts in the book and see what
Tell me
people
what I'm
like.
doing. I will be your Vanna White.
Perfect. So the first page in this book is very similar to the other one, because if you only own one book, you're still going to need small fonts. And so 5 high is a typically the smallest font you can have in Needlepoint.
Yes, so I will tell you, I've bought this store from our old owner, and there is this very antiquated handout that we still occasionally will use.
Yes.
Really not, actually we don't use it anymore now that this exists. But it is so antiquated, you can barely read it, because of course it's Xerox copy after
Yes.
Xerox copy from probably 30 years ago.
Yes.
And it says, font 5 high, smallest font available in Needlepoint, until Krissy Johnson came along.
I needed something that was 4 high. And so I was making a self-finishing tag similar to this, and I needed multiple lines of font. And so I needed something that was 4 high, and I said, well, let's try and make one. And so that is different from the first book to this one, is you're getting the 4 high font right away. And then into your standard 5-high numbers, letters.
So let me ask you something silly. On this page, you have extra tiny 4, which in my opinion is like a brand new, like amazing thing. But the others say essential 5, essential numbers 5, narrow essential numbers 5. So the 2 essential numbers 5, is that the only repeat from the original book?
Correct.
So-
Just because if you're only going to have one book, you still need a 5-high font.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this 200 pages, everything is brand new.
Yes.
Except for 2 out of the 4 fonts on this one page are a repeat, just so they're handy and at the ready.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And the 4-high too is, I think it's nice. Sometimes you'll see on a big stocking, there'll be a train under a tree that says railroad on it, but you want to change that to say like your town name or your child's name. And so I think that's a nice like sneak it into areas font too.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Okay, and then I brought some stitch samples. I want to show off like if you've never personalized
Please
canvas
do.
before.
Oh, cute.
I've put like 5-high is really nice for like the bottom of.
I'm going to hold
Things,
it up
thank
here
you.
too, because we also are
Well-
filming for our YouTube channel as
Oh,
well.
thank you.
Speaking of YouTube, so I got to make sure both cameras get to
Yes.
see your beauty.
And so that's the 3D Arc de Triomphe. And I
So
think
cute.
that 5-high font is just simple and you can put years on things and names on
And
things.
hold on, but let's back up. This is your design,
It
correct?
is. And they have an
So-
Arc de Triomphe needle binder. I thought that was so perfect.
Oh yeah, I think Kelly had me order that. So if you
I own
are into your Francophile-ness, there you go. But this is Chrissy's design. Because at one point I almost said, "Oh, is this such and such designs?" I'm like, "Nope, there's your initials on there."
Yep.
So it is absolutely darling. So
Yeah, and again, that's just like the simplest font you can have. I have another stitch sample here that I did put just a KN in the bottom.
there we go.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's probably my first design maybe.
Well, I was just gonna say that's the canvas that started it all.
Lauren says that's the canvas that started it
You
all.
overdressed.
I was wearing that. Yeah.
You posted it for a wedding, and we saw it, and we're like, "Oh my god, this is so cute!" I bet she could do a couple of other ideas. And like Chrissy said,
Yeah.
she came in with a whole line, and her head exploded. So
And so it says overdressed and under par. I know if you're watching it on Instagram, it's backwards to you. But Chrissy is also an avid golfer. Is
Yes,
that an
I've
avid-
never been under par, but in my dreams. I'm not a good golfer, I'm an avid golfer.
You know, let's think about this. At one point, you were probably like, in my dreams, I'm going to be a needlepoint designer. And here you are.
Yeah,
So you never know.
that's very cool. Okay. And then this is a Stitch-Its, but I just wanted to show off another way to personalize it too. There's not a lot of space on those canvases, and so with the narrow fonts, you can put, I wrote season tickets and then a year underneath of it.
Cute.
But there's not a lot of space, especially because it's 13 mesh and you knew it was going to be 3D. And so that's another use for really tiny, small fonts, tiny spaces.
And I am a big believer in either personalizing things, or if for whatever reason Chrissy's hand-holding isn't going to be enough for you, which is okay, at least embroider it, because I totally believe that then my children won't put my stuff in a garage sale for 50 cents.
I also
It may not work. Those of you who are younger than me, check in with me upstairs some year and let me know.
I have needlepoint friends that can take it over too. But yeah, I think it helps me remember the memory too,
For
especially
sure.
if I stitch something like niche. Yeah, be awesome.
Nice.
Yay.
Okay.
So those are the stitch samples. Okay, now into the new stuff. That was kind of like intro to personalizing
This is
your
like our
canvases.
basics. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so this next font, I'm pretty excited about.
Okay, can we back up though?
Yes.
You are so sweet. So ahead of time, so a few really nice things happened. Ahead of time, Lauren got me a copy of this book, like hot off the presses, FedEx delivery, faster than fast. And then I was up at the cottage, and then Liz and Kelly called. They're like, "Oh my God, you are never gonna believe this. Chrissy sent us a care package." And she sent each of them 2 personalized canvases, which was super sweet for the diehard Lions
Lions
fans
fans.
and diehard flossettes that they are. So
Yes.
there we go. Okay.
Yes. So this next font is intended for when you don't know which way you want your finished canvas to go,
Oh, see,
or if you need to sneak it in. So
So-
it's at a 45-degree angle.
I never thought about that. I'm like, why would I want this at this angle?
Yes.
Well, duh.
So Liz put hers in a bag tag on a purse, and you can see it's hanging up and down. But if she changed her mind and she wanted to put it side to side in something, well, now it still says Liz.
I mean, come on, that is so darn smart. And I literally, this is why you're here, and this is why you're explaining this, because I looked at this and I'm like, well, that's cute, but why would I need that? Like, I totally didn't dawn on me.
Okay, yeah.
So that is like again, remember that word I said earlier? Engineer. Like she's thinking about these things. Not
I never
everybody
pull my sticky off, and I like wardrobe my 6x3s, and
Right.
so now you can do either up and down or side by side.
So meaning that, I'm sure this isn't in here either, if I pinch this canvas would pop right out because it's just tucked in under all these little edges. And so she could then move it over, like Chrissy said, to the pop-in pouches. We love Rachel Bear's pop-in pouches, and there's one that holds this luggage tag size, and then there's one that holds a 6x3. We normally have gobs of inventory. I think ours are maybe stalled at the border. So,
But they're ordered.
Yeah, we might live 5 minutes from Windsor. Well, maybe not 5, maybe 20. But we live 5 minutes from the Canadian border. But we still have to be patient. So there we go.
And then another canvas, this is from Labors of Love, that I think this 45-degree font will be perfect on, is these birds on their back. You could put a single letter at a 45-degree angle and their back, and so then when they finish, it'll be straight down. And I think that is like a use that that's probably what I'll do on these birds.
And this happens to be from Chrissy's personal stash.
I brought stash cases.
Yeah, so you can't take this one home today, but this is something we
can
can
be
order
ordered.
from you. The Labors of Love bird collection is fantastic. As a matter of fact, you bought that bird book today.
I did. I got the stitching all kinds of birds books, so now I need bird canvases. My parents have a husband and a wife eagle that have lived at their house for like a decade, and so I need to make eagle things.
That
for
is
their house.
fantastic.
Yeah.
We have one like off, like around our cottage area, but I mean, it's not like he pops in and out.
Okay.
She, I don't know, occasionally, but
Yes.
it's not like.
Ours are like the binoculars sit by the window because what are the eagles doing?
That is so cool. That is so cool. Okay.
Yay.
So 45-degree angle, and I'm
And
so
there-
glad you
it's-
explained that. So there's a left
And it
version
comes
and a
both
right
ways.
version. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That way you don't have to
on-
flip your book. It's provided both
On
ways
page
for you.
7, it's one way, and on page 8, it's the other way. So, you know, sometimes I have learned over time that like you can take a picture of something because you know I'm not
And rotate it.
and rotate it,
Yeah.
and that would do the trick for you. But it's so much nicer to have it already done for you.
Yes,
So,
then you
thank
can not use. And I typed this on the page. I wrote that I recommend cross stitching these at the 45 because the letters are a lot of like dot dot dot, and so if you do a tent stitch, just do a tent stitch in the opposite direction to make that more bold.
And I think there was a comment earlier that from our video this morning that we just did you're here, yay.
Yeah.
Someone said, I'm new to your shop. Would this apply to cross stitch or needlepoint? And I think the answer is both.
Okay, and if you're into quilting, I bought a bunch of jelly rolls, which is a quilting term, and I'm making a
I'm like,
blanket.
what's a jelly roll?
Yes, it's these two. It's like a 2-inch square of fabric, kind of.
Okay.
And I'm making a blanket that has a huge name on it using one of these fonts.
Oh,
but
awesome.
it'll be really
so
big.
So this is like cross crafting.
Yes, anything with like squares or grid locations, this works.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'll have to answer that person's comment later, but now I know the answer. And I thought I knew the
Tell
answer,
them, say,
but I
look,
want
Google
to.
jelly rolls. Here's what it is.
Okay, perfect.
Wonderful. Okay, so then the structure of the book, it starts out, it's kind of small to big, and it's kind of timeless to crazy.
Okay, can we talk about these numbers? Like this
Yes.
says essential 5. This one says narrow serif
Perfect.
uppercase 13.
Perfect. So the title of your font would be a name of the font followed by a number, and that's how high that the common letter is in this. Sometimes when they get crazy, they get bigger and smaller.
So like the thread count high.
Thread count high, how many intersections high. And then when there's a capital and a lowercase provided, they have the same number so that you know it's the same font. If you wanted to write Melissa with just a capital M, your E is obviously shorter than your M.
Right.
But they're labeled the same so that you know they go together.
Okay, so if this says narrow serif, I never say that word right, apologies, uppercase 13.
That means your
If
uppercases are 13.
someone was stitching on 13 mesh canvas, that means that these
That's an
letters theoretically are 1 inch high.
Yep.
And if they're stitching on 18, it's probably 75%
A little
of that,
less.
like three quarters of
Yes.
an inch high.
And all that is explained in there if you forget that. That's in the
Yes,
opening
yes.
page.
But hey, we see. I was telling Chrissy last night at dinner. I'm like, yeah, I read that part, and we'll get to that part later. And I'm like, and I know if I reread it, it totally would have sunk in. But I knew you were coming, so I would rather just ask in person.
Yeah.
So there we
Yeah.
go. Okay.
Absolutely. So then I have some examples for some like simpler, to put a simple name on this. And what I like about this being narrow there's numbers also, is these canvases from Pepperberry that I found in the Wool and the Floss.
So we have we have the mini trunk show here of Chrissy's and Gingham Stitchery designs here through October 1st. We still have the Pepperberry trunk show in the building, and it is here through September 27th. 20% off of all the canvases.
Yep.
Okay.
And these are both on my wish list. But what I like about having a narrow font is this area is only so wide. So if you're
up front, you go.
Thank you. If your son's name is Jake, it should fit. But if your son's name again is Charlotte, you're going to need something narrower to fit that. And so this gives you a taller font with a narrow option to fit in there.
Okay.
To write First Christmas.
So it's like, I went to go visit a cousin of mine that lived in Nashville. He's in his 80s. He's only my mom's second cousin, whatever. And he was talking about the tall skinnies, which is a Nashville term for these houses that they tear down old houses and they build tall
this is a tall skinny.
This is the tall skinny.
Yes.
So there we go.
Absolutely. And then I grabbed this one too to show off. This is a volleyball round, and it comes with numbers to personalize with your child's number.
Okay. So are these numbers in this book?
No, they're not. This
Okay.
is only for this canvas.
Okay. Go ahead.
And so a problem that some people have, especially if you have younger players, is they don't have numbers yet that are meaningful to them. They're just like playing on their town ball team.
Right.
And so
They're
if
just
you
given some shirt and it's
Correct.
a number for 6
yes.
weeks and then
So if
whatever.
if your daughter plays volleyball for the Lions, then you can just put Lions there, or the Raiders, and you can put that there, or their name. And so that's another use of the arrows.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you might even use those angled ones if you wanted. It might, depending if it fits. It
Yes.
might fit on the angle here, which would be kind of fun.
Yes, that'd be really cute.
Okay.
Yay.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so that same font, I provided it 2 sizes because I think it's really timeless. And this next one is sized exactly perfect for any belt that you
pretty.
want to stitch. So I have the azalea belt here, I think like a dark green.
And again, your
Or
design.
purse strap.
Your
Yes.
design. And this azalea print comes in a lot of different canvases,
Yes,
correct?
there's an insert. It's if you're a golfer, it's a nod to the masters, and if you're not a golfer, it's floral.
It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. And I would probably use it as a purse
Purse strap,
myself,
tray. Yes,
which you could still do the tall skinny this
this way,
direction.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Be
so
really
this
sweet.
21 high font is designed for any 18 mesh belt that you have. If you're doing a hobby belt for a friend, it will fit accordingly.
You can also do
Nice.
the 45 and have it be first strap or a belt.
Yes,
Or either
yes.
way.
Lauren!
Lauren mentioned that.
Yay!
Yeah, you can put it at an angle if you haven't decided yet.
I
Or
love it.
whether your strap, however it falls
Because
on
our
you.
other Gingham Stitchery artist, Abby Foster, created this brilliant thing where she had a belt finished for her daughter.
Yep.
And then we sent it to her like purse strap finisher, and she finished ends. So basically one end was like the buckle end that the tab would go into, and the other end was a tab end that the buckle end would fit into with lobster claw. So it turns the belt into a strap.
Oh, wow.
So it's hard to explain.
That
without
is the
seeing
coolest.
it,
Okay.
But
So it's both. It's both a strap and a belt.
exactly.
Okay. That's genius.
Amazing.
So if you do the 45, it could,
It could go either way.
yes.
I love that.
I didn't explain it well, but you basically just create these tabs with lobster claws
Yep.
that turn any belt into a strap.
So the lobster clasps are removable?
Yeah, like, okay, do you have a finished belt around here?
Yes. I think isn't on that bookshelf over there?
Finished belt. Purse straps, not belt.
Oh,
yeah.
no, we just have a purse strap hand at the ready.
Okay.
Yeah, come teach us,
I'm
Lauren.
like,
I'm intrigued.
I
I'm
was
so
like
intrigued.
listening, and it was kind of like me reading the thing. I'm like, I know I'll get this the second
And
time
belts are my
around.
favorite thing to stitch, so I need to learn about this.
Well, I wish we had like a belt, like a buckle. So basically, these parts on this strap, right, that the lobster claws are attached to. So imagine like a buckle is on this end and a tab is on the end of this end. So the belt has a buckle. So you put the tab into the belt buckle, and then you put the buckle on this end onto the tab of the belt.
Yes.
So it's like a double.
Because my
belt.
normal
So it's
purse
like-
strap
so-
has a buckle
so it
on
comes
it.
with 2 sets of hardware?
Yeah, so
And
we
it's
finished the
attached.
belt, like she did it in 2 separate steps. Like we finished it as a belt, and she's like, do you think that the purse finisher could create like essentially like let's call it male and female end of the belt?
Yes.
Right.
It's like, so these 2 ends of the strap, one is male end and one is female end, so that it goes into the male and female end of the belt
It's like
to
an
make it a
attachment.
strap. Exactly. So you could use that 45 font if you wanted to wear it as a belt and then as a strap. You
Okay,
could do
I love
that.
So this is the other question I get from time to time, and I know what my answer was, but I'd be curious what your answers are. Someone said, if I'm going to stitch it as a belt versus stitching it as a purse strap, do I change the direction of my stitching?
I don't.
No. This is people ask that question all the time, and it's one of those questions that makes me.
I think
Crazy.
the needlepoint police answer is still no too, because it's how your canvas is.
It's the needle lift. That's my thing. Is like your
you do
canvas
you.
has a warp and a weft.
Yeah.
Like, so you should stitch it the way that it's stitched. But like again, like right,
Live your life.
no needlepoint police are pounding down your door to be like, how dare you?
Well,
like
this person said, I started it situated vertically.
Yeah.
And going the right,
Yeah.
the typical.
I
California
stitch
to Maine.
backwards. I stitch up and to the
And
left.
she's like, is that going to be a problem? I'm like, no.
No.
And I said, we get the question a lot when it comes to belts too. And I said, if someone is that close to your husband's waistband, you have a lot
Yes.
bigger
Yeah.
problems than which direction your stitches
Well,
are.
I
So-
learned to stitch sitting across the table from someone, so I stitch up and to the
Oh,
left
you told
because
me that
I
before.
mirrored them.
I forgot that.
And my belt, everything I stitch is backwards.
there you go.
That's so funny.
She hasn't been caught by the police yet, you guys.
No,
Yeah.
no, we do have
Except
that.
for Halloween a couple years ago. Lauren was the needlepoint police for
yeah.
Halloween, and she wrote me a ticket. It was, I still have it.
Did you have to pay her in candy?
It was $100,000.
Woo! That's a tough one.
I'm working on it.
I did stitch that canvas that says no needlepoint police
No,
allowed.
there's no police.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I
Okay.
love that diagonal idea. Good job.
That was really,
Okay.
I liked learning that. Okay, the next two fonts solve a similar problem. The first one is shorter and wider. So when you only have a short area, but you
So
still want a bold
short,
font.
fatty,
Short,
instead of tall,
yeah.
skinny.
It's called wide curvy.
Squatty.
Squatty. Yeah, it's squatty.
Wide curvy is much more PC. So good job.
Okay, and I brought this from my stash too. This is the Kathy Schinkel ski boot, and this area that is right here, thank you, is a shorter, wider area, and that's where I think I would put a K right there, but because I need something short, but I don't want like a dinky little K there. I want like something.
You want it to be
I want it
seen.
to pop. Yeah.
To see and be seen.
Yes, exactly. And so this shorter, wider K fits really nice there if I was personalizing this.
Love it.
And then the font following solves the opposite problem. So it is as narrow as you can make it, but taller.
And
so
this one is called tall skinny.
Tall
so
skinny,
I jumped
yes.
ahead.
And I want to interrupt you guys for 1 second again, just to reiterate, because you said it quickly, but like on the last page of this book, there's a QR code, and in that video, Chrissy shows you how to measure, how to find your center,
Yep.
how to actually put the letter on your canvas. So if
Yep.
you're seeing all this and you're like, this is great, but like, how do
I'm
I actually do
overwhelmed.
it?
Yes.
There's a video in there that she shows you step by step of how to actually find the place to put your letter.
Yep.
And how to put it on your canvas.
And I will say the video is like, I'm giving longer instruction and I'm doing it slow, and the video is like 11 minutes. So that's for a single letter. So I would say this, once you do it a couple times, it's a short task.
Right. And if you happen to be using it in combination with the Tools of Trade templates,
It's even easier.
We mark the middle
Yes,
spot.
and I show that in the video also.
So very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so that the first font was that wide, short one, and now this next font that comes in a couple sizes is tall and skinny. So if instead you wanted to put Breck in this area, which is multiple letters, but you don't want them to be dinky, now we have a taller, skinny font that you can write WP or Breck or whatever ski resort matters to you.
So you're going to have a lot of choices. Is
Yes,
the bottom line.
absolutely. It's just, what would you like to personalize your canvas with?
Love it.
And then also, I grabbed this. This is on my wish list. I know that Kelly and Liz, I have Kelly's right here, stitched that, and they put the Celtic font from the first book there. But
So
I
cute.
counted in between here, if your team has 5 letters, such as the Lions fits. Lions fits between the white
Go
lines
Lions!
there. Yeah, and I think that is really cool. And so this solves the opposite problem of I have a skinny area, but I want a more larger
So
letter.
we carry this canvas quite regularly. This is from Janice Holden.
Yes.
So this is not discounted today, but it is fantastic, and it is $68. So in the scheme of needlepoint, it's actually pretty price friendly, and Liz
It's
and,
big too.
Liz and Kelly stitched together. There's just an easy bargello at the top, and then you add that. Look what a difference that K makes. Like just personalizing something makes it so much more special in my eyes. I just love it, love it, love
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Okay, this next one is an actual whip with thread hanging off of it. But I wanted, there's a,
Is this your design?
nope, this is Elm Tree.
Okay.
Yep, you can get this for them.
Okay.
So it's another belt. So this font is 20 high. So that 20 to 21 high is gonna be good. And it's all tractors, and I put just like a Western style font, my monogram in there. So
So this is gonna scare the average stitcher. I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie. because
I whited out a tractor.
no, you used like paint. Like I've never used paint in my life. So
Okay.
let's talk about
Yes.
other choices. Because paint's scary if you're not someone who's used a paintbrush. I'm sorry. Like Kaylee, my daughter, would be like,
Oh, it's easy.
what is wrong with you, Mom? And like she'd whip out, but she was like, has an art minor. Like she's done a lot of stuff. Like
Yes.
I haven't picked up a paintbrush probably since I was in third
Okay.
grade. So are there other choices?
Yes, I mostly use pens.
Okay.
And Melissa has these acrylic pens here that are thread safe, and this is what I mostly use. And you don't want to get the kind that has like a metal tip, and you don't want a fat tip. You want a medium. This says 1 millimeter.
Because there's two sizes
nice.
in this. So these are Dana pens I originally found because of Amy Bunger, who was like, you know,
I
one
want
of
our
the
stitch guides.
goddesses of needlepoint. And they're one-upping Sharpies, to be honest. Sharpies
Okay.
always say that they're water resistant. These are actually technically waterproof. And they are two-sided. So there's a 1 millimeter size and a 0.4 millimeter size. And I have had my set since I bought them from Amy like a decade ago. No, probably a dozen
Yeah.
years ago. So a $26 investment is going to last you a long time. You've got 8 good colors, and you know this green might not be the exact green of your belt. Did I hide your belt?
nope, you're
You
good.
I hid the belt.
Yep.
But you know it's going to be close enough for government work, as they say, and you just pick your color that's close enough. And for people who aren't comfortable with a paintbrush,
Correct.
This
And
is
my YouTube video using the book and the templates is a pen also. And you just go dot, dot, dot. Every time you see a black square in the book, that's one intersection on your canvas. And you just go line by line and get it put in.
and I usually don't do either.
Okay.
I
You stitch it?
I find the middle. Now, if I was doing 3 letters, I might put them on graph paper.
Yep.
So I could find the middle of that 3 set. Because
Perfect.
your heights are all the same, but different letters are going to have
Correct. A
minorly
W and an
different
I are different. Yes.
widths. So then I might find the center. And do you talk somewhere in the book about how much space to leave between letters?
No, it just depends on the size. If they're small, I like to leave 1 row. And if they're bigger, more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually, like if I was doing 3 large initials, I might do
2 rows.
2 empty
columns.
canvas rows
Yeah.
in between. So I might do it that way and find the center. But I just start stitching.
I find that people who have a cross stitch background, that's so easy for them. And to me, that's so intimidating.
And I've never cross stitched. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I bought one cross stitch project because I felt like as a needlepoint shop owner, so many people come in and say, well, I've cross stitched before. Is it similar or different? And I would always explain it,
And now you can answer
but I
it.
felt like
Yeah.
I needed to live it.
Perfect.
Guess what? I still haven't finished that, but that's okay.
That's intimidating to me, but then you get to skip 10 steps because then you just take it from the book, thread on the canvas, and then you're done. And so if that works for your brain, that's fantastic.
Yeah. My point is, and Chrissy's point is, everyone's brains work differently. So paint is an option, pens are an option. We sell our 4-H corrector set. So Chrissy could have also used this.
Yep.
She could have used our Presto pen to white out the tractor, right?
Yes, yes.
And it won't totally disappear. It'll just become faint.
It just becomes so I don't have to focus
Like a
on
shadow.
it. Yeah.
And then you've got your 4-H pencil, which will not hop onto your threads
Correct.
because it's a hard lead.
Yes.
And if you make a mistake, there's a white eraser that you can erase.
Yes.
And
Especially
go
for
back.
belts because they typically have a white background. That pencil will be just fine and just dash the ones you want and then you're good to go.
so you've got your options of paint, if you're brave, markers that we talked about,
Yep.
corrector set, or just graph
it.
paper and wing it and hope you're right. I won't lie. I'm going to tell you that many times I end up realizing I was 1 row off and taking it out and starting over again.
Okay.
So I probably would have been better off doing your method, but you know,
Everyone's different. Yeah.
it is what it is.
That's
so
awesome. Okay. Yay.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
We did get a good question.
Yes.
From our favorite Rebecca. Would you suggest personalizing as the first step or while you're doing it?
I suggest personalizing, like because I use the paint method, doing it first so then I don't accidentally stitch that area already.
And I'm also going to say I would do it first because I have been the queen of getting something like 2/3 of the way done and being like, oh, I should have put my Taylor Studios monogram chart on here. And now I'm like, now I don't have room left. I've already
Already
stitched it. I
stitched
don't
it,
want to
yeah.
unstitch it.
Yes.
So screw it. Or, or I'm flipping through one of your books, like, well, I'm mid-project on something, and I'm like,
Like,
oh,
that
that
would've
would
been
be
work.
great. But now I've already stitched it, so never mind. Like, so I
Yeah.
think you will utilize this more if every time you start a canvas, you get out your book, and then you may still decide not to personalize
Yes,
it,
which is
maybe,
fine.
but you've got the advantage of forethought.
My office system is when I buy a canvas, it goes on like the to be painted pile. And so then once I've had my name on it, it can go in my stash. And then that is
Okay.
nice.
So someone like me might be, this is my to be personalized file, and then I could get out and stitch the personalization,
Be
and
done.
then maybe set it aside because it might be a summer canvas, and now
Yes.
it's November, and I'm really in the mood for Thanksgiving or
Yeah.
holiday time.
My like way too honest answer to that question is like the stitching is the fun part. And so once I get to the stitching, I don't want to stop and like go back to like the let's count part, you know?
Oh, but I think the designing of the personalization is really fun too. So I
Yeah,
would say
picking
that.
where you want it. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I just did it on my shoes, and I like ripped right in, and
Okay.
wanted to stitch it, and then I was like, oh, before I get too much farther, I should put that.
There, so it's held.
Yeah, so I kind of did half and half, and I'm like just a count and stitch as I go person, and so I think
You're
it's
a
like,
savant.
Well,
No.
and the other thing is not to beat a dead horse, but we were playing Mahjong last night, and part of my attraction to Mahjong is after unfortunately having two senior people in my family have dementia. It's so beneficial to do something that's super detail oriented and is outside of the normal box. And when usually once a year, I'll do an entire counted needlepoint piece. And a lot of times it's been from a chart for charity.
Okay.
And I don't sit down and paint those. I just
Yeah.
sit down and stitch them, and I look where I am. And I feel like that exercises a different part of your brain. So I feel like counting out these personalizations does. So it gives me that little like kick that I like when I do an entire
like
canvas,
fitness.
but it's not a whole canvas. So yeah.
Counting charts is my cardio.
There we go.
Yeah.
New canvas.
I love it.
Okay. Next
Okay,
up.
so this next spot, we're getting weird. Okay, so this one.
Now we're getting fabulous.
Yes,
we're getting extraordinary.
extraordinary.
Weird, what?
So,
Interesting.
it is very, if you're in Detroit, it is nautical. If you are in Nebraska on a farm, it is rodeo.
Oh,
and
clever. It is called rodeo rope, so she was thinking more about her people than mine, but it's okay.
I grew up landlocked. But it's all different.
I'm sorry for you.
Yes, it's all different letters made of ropes. And so they have,
Check this out, you guys.
Yeah.
So like how fun is that?
Yes.
Like it can look youthful, it can look nautical, it can look horsey.
yes,
all the
very,
things.
very like, I have a niece who's like all about livestock right now. And so it can be horsey for her, but it can also be like boat, tote, bag tag. So I was thinking the easiest way to use any of these letters is just do a single letter and then draw a line with a template around it. And then boom, you have an ornament or a bag tag. And so I think that is a great way to use this font. But then
I love this
also,
whole book because it's basically the price of a canvas, but you have infinite canvases in this book.
Yeah, so you
Yes.
You can take the fonts and you can take the templates and make literally a million canvases.
So
Yes.
this particular one is 40 threads high.
Yes, and
so
so-
that's about a little more than 3 inches high.
yes,
On 18 mesh.
Yep.
So you could take out your is this
4
the
inch.
4-inch round.
that looks like 4 inches.
We're gonna pretend it's 4 inches. You guys won't be able to tell. This is your 4-inch round template. You'd use your corrector set, draw your circle, and then you could either draw in your giant letter, and then you have, of course, the ability to pick any color under the sun. So,
Yeah.
and most needlepoint shops, including ours, sell blank needlepoint canvas, either in 13 mesh or 18 mesh, and it comes on a 40-yard bolt. So just like when you're buying fabric,
Yep.
it's a 40-yard bolt, and you pick your number of inches. So
I like to get
if-
at least 8.
I would say if you're gonna do a 4-inch round, you're gonna want 8, because
Yep.
usually you want 2 inches of selvage on all sides. And
Yep.
if you look at the professional designers, that's how they request their canvases
Yep.
to be painted. And there's a
Yes.
reason. So if you put it on bars, you don't run into the bars with your needle, et
Yes.
cetera, et cetera. So leave yourself 2 inches. So, you can call us. I don't think we have our blank canvas online because honestly, it's because my daughter who used to do a lot of our shipping. She's like, do you know how hard it is to ship a 40-inch
Wide.
we don't have boxes 40
Yep.
inches tall.
Yep.
And so now we just sell 8x8 blanks. Perfect. 13 mesh or 18 mesh. But if you are local and you want to step in, we will sell you the 40 inches by ever long you want it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
want to interrupt you again because we just buried the lead and someone had a good question.
Uh-oh.
To get this book, it is exclusive to the
Oh,
world.
I forgot that. Yes. So not only did we have the good fortune of rolling this out for you, it is only available here at the Wool and the Floss. Like, honestly, I'm not quite sure how Lauren slipped this by her boss, other than Megan loves me and we do a lot of nice things for each other. So thank you to Megan as well. So it is exclusively here until market, which is October 17th. Did we just decide it's the first
It's
day
in
of
the
market?
teens. It's in the teens.
Yeah.
I arrive on the 15th, so it is the 17th market starts, and then other shops can purchase it. But for right now, we have 300 to sell, and I'm counting on you people. And we can get more before market as well, I think.
You can get as many as you want before market.
Yep.
Because that's how good they are to me. So how about that? Okay, so
Yay.
yes, it is exclusively available here, as well as the new template set that I'm rolling out will also be exclusively available here, only because the first run of them was a very short run. So those will be available to other shops at some point soon through Tools of the Trade / Melissa Loves Needlepoint, which is my wholesale line. So-
Perfect.
Okay, so
Awesome.
back to the compass.
Okay,
Sorry.
I also saw this on the wall today. This is not my design, but I think that if you are a nautical person, putting this big rope font in one of these corners with your last letter of your initial, or if you have multiple initials, putting them in any corner, I think that's
So cute.
So
This is a
nautical.
Susan Roberts canvas, so this is not 20% off, but it is available today. So it would be fantastic with that ropey font. I would love to see, like my dad was a big boater, so an M down here for Milt would have been
Oh.
fantastic.
I was
So,
also
yeah.
gonna say, I grew up with a boat as well, and I feel like taking blank canvas and just putting the name of your boat.
I
like,
love that.
would be so cute.
Yes.
Really, really fun. So,
That's
fantastic. Okay.
Yay. And then if you have the rectangle templates, this would fit in your 6x3 too, if you just wanted one letter for your purse on your friend's boat.
Oh, yeah, so maybe you're taking out your 6x3. Hold on, we're gonna grab this. And we have that pop-in pouch handy, which,
Can people just specify which template set they are looking to
okay,
purchase?
so, and let me give you guys a little details. So the circles have, interesting.
Oh.
The circles have the wrong label on this one. It says it's 4 squares and 5 rectangles and blah, blah, blah. So, I'm gonna have to guess because we have the wrong label on
It's
this one.
quite a few circles and ovals.
So
The
we
ovals are
have
nice.
1, 2, 3, 4 ovals, and they go from tall skinnies and a little bit wider ones. And I think the tallest one is 5 inches high. They have center marks. They have a pinhole even, so you can like pop a pin in there and keep it stationary.
Yep.
And then you've got a 3-inch, a 4-inch, a 5-inch, and a 6-inch circle. So you have all of these. These look kind of cloudy, and you're like, I really wish they were see-through. Well, guess what? There's masking on these. The masking comes off if you want it.
I left mine on.
I leave mine on because
yeah.
I like it being translucent because you can tell easier where the template ends. Once you take this masking off, it's almost too
It's
clear.
clear, yeah.
And it's hard to kind of see what you're doing and to see which part of the design is showing and not showing. Every now and then you can tell in this one there's like kind of like some funky edges. As a matter of fact, Megan was the one who called me the first time she got them. She's like, there's something wrong with these. They're all burned. And I kind of teased her because here we are in the Motor City and we're used to like a lot of laser cutting and things like that. And I'm like, that's just the laser process. When you peel off that
The masking.
masking, it's totally clear. They're fine. So these are the circle templates. They are $42. The square templates, a lot of them, a customer recommended that we come out with square templates. And honestly, I was like, anyone can draw a square. Like, why would I do that? But then we started thinking about it more and we're like, there's so many self-finishing items
Yeah.
that are either squares or rectangles.
And then you can take any canvas and hold that square over it. And
Right, so it has 4 squares, and then, I've gotten smarter as I've gone along. The squares are, the largest one this is a rectangle, Melissa. Let's find a square. It doesn't really matter. The square is 6 by 6, but if you want a 5.5 by 5.5, there's guidelines for 5.5 by 5.5, still with your center lines. So squares and rectangles are 4 different sizes squares, 5 different size rectangles, and most importantly, there's a lot of self-finishing. So this is the 6x3. So where's a good example of something?
Right here.
I was looking for a canvas. You might just want to
that
use part
blue
of.
one with the dots on it. Yep.
Yes.
That's the clamshell insert.
So if you want to do your insert at 6x3, this is what Chrissy painted it to. But let's pretend you wanted to
Use this one. Pretend you wanted to use this one instead.
And you're like,
Yeah.
this canvas is in my stash, and this is darling, but right now I really want to put something in that really cute Rachel Berry pop-in pouch, and its insert size is 6x3. So you can lay this over it, and you could decide. And that's why I like it being translucent. You could be like, oh, how's this part gonna look? Oh no, maybe I want this part up here. You can pick your 6x3 size based on it any direction you want. Just pick your favorite part of your canvas. Yes, you might not use the other part of your canvas, but if this was in your stash, not that we would ever not use Maddie Sweet's canvases, but you know, you might have inherited some stash from your grandmother or something that you want to utilize.
Well, I just gifted someone a de-stash to a friend a stocking that she was like, I don't need a stocking, but this one element of the stocking I love as a stand-up. And so she just turned a stocking into a stand-up, and that way it got appreciated and used in her
Well,
house.
you did this with Melissa's new templates. You have it drawn on an existing
Yes.
canvas, and people are ordering these new templates sight unseen. They don't even know what they
They're
are.
good.
Sold
They're good.
10 to 12 of them.
Oh, you haven't even seen our back
So
tag.
maybe you should show maybe what they are with your canvas that you drew up on
So
there.
this is the 6x3 insert, that's the passport size insert, that's the luggage tag size insert, and that's the everything box insert. So, there we go.
So I'll show you
Oh, that's
what they're
you
talking about.
designed
Yes.
for us to start with.
Yes. So this
It all
has,
started at the Wool and the Floss.
yes,
Lauren and Chrissy came for our retreat 2 years ago,
maybe
a year and a half ago,
Year and a half ago. It was summer.
and we needed some exclusives, and I called up Lauren and I'm like, so our theme's kind of like fun, Lily-esque inspired. She's like, I gotcha. I don't even know if you know about this conversation. She said, I've got this brand new designer, and she's
incredibly good looking.
She's gonna be really good at this, and she wouldn't even tell me who you were. She was like, I can't tell you yet, but I've got you. And so you sent me like 3 or 4
Yes.
different choices, and we ran away with 2 or 3 of them, and
That's
there we
awesome.
go.
So that design was the roses on teal, and I turned it into a luggage tag. And what's nice about this to show today with the template is this is what I made a YouTube video showing how to do. And so I used dark marker and dark outlines.
So normally this heart that you're seeing here doesn't come on here, and this K doesn't come on here.
Correct.
But we have our new templates, which are bag tags, and there is a heart included. So Chrissy may have had this painted in her stash, and I guess, oh, you did it upside down. I can't. Or actually it's sideways. And so she popped
Yeah, I turned
this
it
on
sideways
here.
to fit the heart. And so
Gotcha.
and I'm either gonna make it a bag tag or a scissor fob. I haven't decided.
And that's the beauty of this size.
Yes,
Because
yes.
they are
It
fantastic.
can turn into anything. And there's a bunch of different shapes in here too. There is a clover shape. That will be cute. There's a Celtic font in the first book that I would put in that clover shape.
I'm gonna give a little like PSA though. Keep in mind when you do this clover shape, you're probably for finishing purposes, and you finish your own things. Don't you
Yeah.
think you're gonna have to put a circle around
Well,
this?
that's what I was thinking is putting it inside of a 4-inch circle and then using that as like my dark color inside of it.
Yeah, the rest of them I think can be finished to the size they
Yes.
are. This one you're gonna need like a circle around it, because a cording around this is gonna make it look like just a big blob.
Can I
Yeah.
tell you guys another like hot tip on
Yes.
this? Is that to not worry about the spacing, like just put your fonts on
First.
on the canvas, and then use the templates with the center mark for your first letter, and then that way you can get the rest really easy, as opposed to like trying to find a center.
I love that.
Smart.
Yes.
Smart.
So then there's circle.
And I think this is a 2-inch circle. Let's hope this
Read
sticker's
it.
right. Yeah, we have a 2-inch square, a 2-inch circle, diamond, because diamonds are a girl's best friend.
My sister is an 80 pie. Both my sisters are, and so I think that would be a cute thing because it's hard to find diamond things that are not the gemstone diamond.
Right,
And so I think
right.
they'll like that.
So this is 3 inches high by 2 wide.
And then this, stay tuned because there's a Halloween chunk of this book.
So there is an arch. Some people call it an arch. I call it the tombstone shape, and Liz always shakes her head at me. You shouldn't call it tombstone. But I think it's actually Megan who first called it the tombstone, and she lives in the city of the arch. So she should have named it the arch.
I would
but-
say arches are a shape I have a hard time drawing. I'll do straight lines, and then again, before the templates, I'm like with my candle lid, like trying to get it centered. It's a mess.
Yeah, so These are brand new. So this little set, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 small bag tag size templates. And they're $38, and they are being debuted today. And these are live on our website, the bag tags. I think so. Yes,
Perhaps.
I saw you do it. I saw you do it.
Yes.
We've done a lot today. Not only were we hosting these fabulous ladies, we also got a note today that we're having a Michigan sales tax audit for the last 4 years. So it has kind of thrown Emily and I a little bit over our edge, but we're trying to maintain calm.
Is your new pumpkin font that was finished, is that the small circle in that template?
It is. So,
No, it's a slightly larger circle.
oh, okay. Shoot.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
a little bigger.
But we'll get there. Okay.
So we're not showing off every single font in the book, but I wanted to highlight most of them so that you could know what they look like. And so the next two really are, I think, ways you can hide a hidden message in a canvas, or ways you can add like accessibility if you have like loved ones who need that in their life. So first,
I was thinking if you had someone that you had to stitch for because they were a relative, but you actually were mad at them. I don't know.
so I have all the letters and numbers in Morse code, and Lauren's idea for that was you could use a cashmere stitch and put a border around a canvas that had, like, this is Saturnalia's canvas, and it says, "I don't cook, I don't clean," and then you could put like, I don't know, your name in Morse code around it, or another secret message all the way around it. Or if you really like the song, you could keep putting the lyrics around.
And this is again not part of the canvas trunk show,
I just
because
liked it.
this is from our friend Abby Saturnalia, who lives very close to the shop, and she happened to stop in today to see these gals.
Yes,
So that
it was
fun.
really nice. So along with Morse code, the next font in here is Braille. So if you have a loved one that reads Braille or is in school to help people who read Braille, I think that is fun to incorporate. But if not, you can do a hidden message and maybe even French knot where the Braille needs to be and actually have it be usable. I think that would be cool.
So do you think if it were, and I'm admitting my ignorance right now, if you did it in something like velvet and then maybe did the background in like a stranded silk so that there was
Maybe.
some loftiness, would that work?
Probably, as long as it was some sort of raised texture. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Or cross stitch.
A cross stitch in velvet would for sure do it versus
Okay.
stranded background.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, something like you want something to lay really smooth and flat with the Braille, of course,
Yes.
popping.
Or if there was a beautiful design that you're like, hey, letters aren't my thing, you could in Morse code like put that across the bottom and it would just look like a border, but it would be a way for you to personalize something. I think that'd be fun.
Very
I
fun.
think it would be cute to do on your frame, on like Chrissy's heart scallop
Oh,
frame.
yes.
Like you could put "I love you" in Morse code, like as another little dot border around it. It'd be so
Oh,
cute.
I love you, I love you,
Or
I
like,
love you,
on
I
the
love you.
inside, pink and then like the cute red font, and it would just like a design element, but really it says like "I love you, Mom" or I love
Yes.
You. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cute. I love that idea.
And if you do something like that, I'm always about the PSAs because I get the wait, I don't understand,
Yes.
or what do I need to do? You're gonna wanna add probably 2 extra rows beyond, because cording will cover,
This is designed with the extra rows, so this is brought in.
but if they put their Morse code right on the very edge, the cording could cover.
Oh yes,
So
thank you.
you
Good
wanna
point. I think
keep
it meant
you wanna
photo.
keep your
Yep.
Morse code lines 2 rows away from the edge.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
That's all.
I was saying that wrong. I was saying this was brought in 2 rows so that a 4x6, even when it's turned, you still hide all the edges of the photo. But
But
yeah,
that
that's a
that
good PSA.
internal, external and external cording, most needlepoint things are not machine stitched; they are hand stitched.
Yeah.
But that cording will visually impair the first row, sometimes 2, depending on how fat the cording is, of the first
Yeah,
exposed rows.
I love
So,
that.
Anyway,
that's awesome.
That's
Okay, the next one I think is just cool, and it reminds me of Minecraft, the game. Like if you need to stitch for boys, like
yeah.
I
And
just
girls.
and girls who likes Minecraft.
Yes.
I nannied for 3 boys who are very Minecraft obsessed. That's why that's on my mind. So I have it provided here, and then I have it provided more as like, it's a couple sizes, but then an optical illusion version of it. I just thought that was also weird.
it makes me like a little bit dizzy, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, I just like, it's another just like weird way to personalize your canvas, and I really like
Well,
that.
and especially if you're stitching for maybe a teenager who, let's be honest, many of them aren't really going to appreciate our stitching in general. Like, but if you do something that they're like, "Ooh, that's a
cool.
really cool." Those are my
My aunt's
first and
cool.
second initials, and that's really fun. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The following font is my absolute favorite. It's just like my vibe, and so I have way too many canvases to show off with it. But it's a classic script, and there's an uppercase, and there is a lowercase, and numbers. And these uppercase and lowercase are sized to go together if you wanted to put them on a stocking cuff. If classic script is your jam, then that's available to you. And then it's also sized really nicely for the 6x3 template. If you have a purse and you wanted to write Jolly or Christmas, Noel, or your name.
Love. If
Yes.
It was like you want to.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that it's size for a 6x3 also to fit within that. And then I have a bunch of canvases that I have even stitched some. So this is same pattern we showed off before. It's supposed to be a passport insert, but I'm turning mine sideways and making it a little zip pouch.
Let's see.
And I haven't stitched the personalization yet. But
Oh.
it just says mom.
There we go. I was looking for the K because
Yeah.
you know I'm very literal. So
I thought about putting a K on it, but I put the K on my scissor fob, same design.
and this was hard for me to find because whenever I personalize something, because she's painting it, she doesn't have to stitch it first. I would have stitched this first.
Yep.
And then stitched everything else around. But it's like a photo negative of how I would have gone about it. So
That's awesome. And so then, similar to what we talked about with the heart bag tag, there's a party coral.
which was another exclusive to us
Yes.
back in the day. Now available at all Needlepoint shops near you. But purchase from us, please.
And then, same, this is the passport insert, and it's meant to be a passport insert. Again, it can be anything you want. I turned mine sideways to make it that zip pouch look.
Cute.
Okay. Azaleas, again, I think that would look
So
nice with just like a classic lowercase or uppercase of first letter.
And what's this one size for? Is this for the acrylic
It
clutch?
fits an acrylic clutch, but again, with the template, you can size it down to 6x3 if that is what.
Here it is. So this is size for the acrylic clutch that you can get on Amazon
Or just
here
insert
or
pillow.
whatever. But you could also just take a piece of it, and I think you guys can see that well enough if you wanted the 6x3 insert.
And then this is designed to be an eyeglass
So pretty.
case.
We've sold this a number of times. I love this.
I think it's very delicate, and that's why I would put just like a simple letter on there in cursive.
So if you're gonna put this on here, would you like try to do something small and put it in the flower? Would you do something bigger, like in this bottom corner? How
It
would
depends.
go
If
about
you
it
would like a
as designer?
sneaky letter, I would put it in the flower and like keep it sneaky, but I would do something gold in this corner, kind of like
Okay.
at least an inch. So because that is 18 mesh, I would look for fonts around 18
So
because I want it to be at least an inch. Yeah.
Really pretty. Okay.
Yay. Yay, I love that. And then I have personalized this with
There's been a lot of talk about this canvas in this building.
I'm stitching it right now. I need to finish it, but it's meant to be a scissor fob and scissor case.
So your big oyster is the scissor
Yes.
case, and this is the pearl over here
Is the
your
scissor fob.
Scissor fob.
And
so
I
pretty.
put a single lowercase k in the pearl, and so that's my
pretty.
intention.
And one
behind
of
it.
your scripty ones?
Yes.
Yeah, love it, love it.
Yep. And then I also found this on the wall, and I think this would be nice for a scripty either in the corner. It's not my design, but I liked it.
This is an Alice Peterson, I think. Yes, it is. 13 mesh, and yeah, so she's like an M, because Chrissy knows I'm obsessed with bees. She's like an M would look fantastic down there. So
Yay, that's awesome. Okay, I got too excited to pull canvases for that font, so there's just a bunch. That's the end of
oops,
that
sorry,
one.
I buried our books.
No, you're good.
Okay, so
Okay.
now we're moving on to the big kahuna.
This is, yes, and I printed this as big as I could. There's only 2 letters per page so that this is blown up for even if you have nighttime eyes, you should be able to read this. M is a good one.
Here's the M. It's so pretty. It's
And-
so elegant.
The intention behind this is to turn a photo frame into a pillow, or
Love it.
ring bearer pillow for your house, or just put this on a huge square and call it good. But I found this Tina Griffin frame because she's local to here.
Tina is a very good friend of the shop.
Yeah.
Chrissy said, does Tina Griffin live here? And I said, as a matter of fact, the bedroom you were in my house, if you looked out the side window, you could see the roof in her house.
At her
She
house.
was that close. So she
So
is lovely.
That M would fit beautifully in there. If you have any children getting married soon and you wanted to stitch a ring bearer pillow for them.
Oh, the pressure. You know what? I haven't even thought about like wedding
Wedding stitching?
I really probably should, but I just haven't. Terrible.
I'm sad and glad I didn't know how to stitch before my wedding, because that would have been a lot of extra stuff I
Well,
was doing.
our good customer, Mary Ellen Seeley, her daughter, and Lindsay also, their daughters got married fairly recently, and I felt like they made so many beautiful things for the wedding, but I'm like,
How meaningful,
okay, the
though.
wedding is already stressful enough. Like, God bless you for being able to handle that extra work. So,
Yeah, but then you have that forever and ever, and then you can pass it down and be like, this is at my parents'
absolutely,
wedding. I love that.
absolutely. So, long engagements, that's the key.
Yes, yes. And it's fun being engaged. That's awesome.
For sure.
So those huge capital letters, there's only 2 per page to make them as big as possible so that you
I
can
mean, they're so
make sure
big.
you can see all the detail.
So
Um,
how high, what
They're
number?
45 high.
So on 13 mesh, that's like three,
On
three
18
and a
mesh, they'll
bit.
fit in a 4x6.
Okay, and on it's on 13 mesh, it's gonna be a little over 3 inches.
Yep.
That was easier math for me to do.
Yes.
Because I knew 13 times 3 was 39. So it's 45 high. So there we go.
Perfect. That's awesome. And there's a lowercase provided with that same font also, and numbers, in case you wanted to put 27 if you had a daughter getting married in 2027 on said ring bearer pillow that coordinate.
I'm getting a lot of sideline pressure here.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so now comes the Halloween chunk of the book. These fonts they don't need to be Halloween, but like Halloween vibes exist. They're kind of funky. So this first one, I knew the minute I saw this Maddie Sweet crown that this is the font I wanted to put on it, because
Those
this
monsters are so cute.
it's
I
just the
can't
weirdest
stand
canvas.
it.
I love it.
It's so cute.
And so this comes in 2 sizes, but it's just like a funky monster, youthful font.
Look at this canvas. And Lauren, have you seen these finished as anything other than crowns?
I have not.
I feel like there should be something really fantastic to do with these. I mean, I love the crown idea. Oh, Emily's going. She's got. What's that? Welcome back, Cotter.
I think you should finish the top like flat,
Yeah.
and then they could finish it rounded.
Oh,
and
like a
put,
little bucket.
Like a little cake, either as a bucket or as like a little baby cake.
Well, that's
A baby cake.
Yeah, that's I've seen like the Easter basket wraps.
Yes.
Like you could even still do the points and like do it the same finish essentially.
Yeah.
But like tie it around an Easter basket or tie it around a little vessel. Would be so cute.
And
Well, especially once your kid is big, this could still be tied around like a jar of candy in your house.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
and it even could be finished just as like a little cylinder-ish, like
a Halloween tree topper.
a tray though, like to hold like
I crowned
just some
a
candy
tree
corn
topper
in
would be
there
cute.
would be really cute. Yeah, tree topper, very cute. Anyways, I love this canvas, and I'm like, I know there's more ways to use this than just as a crown, because some people are gonna be like, that's darling, but I don't have a kid the right age, or
Yeah.
you know. So, and your little monster.
But you have fun
one.
kids.
True. So really cute. Anyway,
That's
okay.
awesome. Okay, so I have some more ideas, but there's just more Halloween fonts, some spooky
The
ones.
spooky one's fantastic.
Yes. Okay. This next one is like wooden stake. It's very like Dracula. And if you've ever seen Rebecca sells Halloween stockings, which are just like very elaborate and very,
Rebecca Wood.
very beautiful. And like this is what you need to put your name at the top of that, like your family name at the top of that Halloween stocking. I just think it's so cool.
Amazing.
I love it.
Someone had the idea, which was so good earlier today, I don't remember who said it, but to use like the 2x3 template with one of those like Halloween letters as like the bag tag on your kids, like trick or treat bag.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly this next font and this oval template. And your son Jake needs it to say Jake in drippy letters and like put it on his Halloween bag. I think that's so cute.
Cool. With
Or like
that
backpack.
silk lame braid that's the Halloween in the background, and a black velvet letter or a black fireworks letter.
Fireworks.
A glow in the dark letters.
Even better.
Okay,
Oh
I
my
love
God.
that.
Okay.
I love that. I love that. Okay, that drippy font comes in 2 sizes. So if you just wanted to do a single J or Jake, whichever he wanted for his Halloween
You
basket,
would have an opinion.
that's awesome. Okay, this next font comes in 2 sizes. It's very it's called Loopy Marker. It's very loopy. And so there's each letter in it's 20 high, so about an inch if you wanted to do a bag tag. And then it also comes in 30 high if you wanted to make it just like a single letter.
And it might feel like a certain brand that we know.
Like a castle vacation
Yes.
of some sort.
But it is called Loopy Marker.
Yes.
So.
And so to me, like a single letter with a template around it as a bag tag, or oh, those people are doing ear finishes
Ears.
now.
Yes.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
do it
On one of the ears. Okay, that would be really cool.
And you
have
could
a-
even just do like a single initial with like a red and white polka dot background with some roads circles.
Dots,
Would be
yes.
really easy to do. Like
Adorable.
random road circles and then stitch it right.
Yes,
Easy
absolutely.
peasy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you'd be like the star mom, grandma, aunt, whatever.
Yes,
Whatever
all the
relationship it
things.
is.
I'm working on being a star aunt.
Well, superstar, shark. What do you guys call it? Local legend.
Local legend. Yes.
Goes to Disney. She said a few times a year. She's going in a couple weeks. I'm like, Shar, you need to make yourself like a 3x6 in that font that says Shar and like a Rachel Berry or.
Oh, I really like that.
And thankfully, she has a 4-letter name. So it's
Exactly. It
gonna
will
work.
fit really nice. Yes. Yes. Okay, this next one I called like a witchy font. It's I don't know.
I feel like it's more sophisticated. Like witchy makes it think it's going to be like
Yes.
spooky and scary, but it has a
I-
sophistication.
I
to
don't.
it that
Yeah,
really like.
some of the other ones are youthful. Like the drippy letters and the stuff are like to me read like kid. This to me reads like Amelia. Like very like it's a fall font, not a Halloween font. And so I grabbed her belt too because I think this
I
would be.
love this.
It's 18 high, so it'll fit perfectly if you did this on a belt or a purse strap. And then I'm stitching her frame also, and that would look really cute in the corner.
And of course, I keep pulling this back to give you guys like a general overview. We're not showing them closely because, of course, Chrissy has spent 8 months of your life writing this book.
A long time.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was 8 months based on what you've told me. So, not to get on a soapbox, but this is her intellectual property. She has worked diligently not only to create these things, but to do quality control, make sure every little piece is right. I'm sure Lauren was also involved in that as well. So that's why we're not like being like, here, look how pretty this is, because I want this to be successful for Chrissy because she's devoted. This was maybe her first baby, her second baby, and maybe she doesn't know this future child doesn't know they're the third baby, but
Yeah.
maybe they are.
And I have a dog, so fourth.
Yeah, it'll all change.
That's
yes,
awesome.
Emily.
Had some requests to show the new template set again.
Yes, let's do it.
It's going to coordinate a little bit with what we're doing.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Yes. So again, speaking of Halloween fonts, there's that arch tombstone shape.
How
Which
cute it'd be to make little like with that spooky drippy font to spell out
Oh.
Happy Halloween and like do a little self-illustration with like the acrylic
little
stand.
Yes.
mini
Yes.
stand-ups.
Like yes.
Yes.
that'd be so
I mean,
cute.
this is like between the investment in the book and the font is probably a little bit over $100, but what Lauren just said just created like maybe 20 canvases out of it, just that idea alone. So,
Yeah. Tombstone. And
yeah.
then my favorite is the heart.
had to do the heart.
Liz's favorite.
Yes, the 4-leaf clover had to go in there. Again, you'll want to do that with a circle around it or a square, whatever your pace be. And everyone needs a basic circle. This is 2 inches, so not included in the original template set. A 2-inch square, not included in the original template set. And diamonds are a girl's best friend. I don't sing very well, but I like this. And I suppose you could do it sideways too. It might come.
Okay, yes.
There's a purpose in this. I'm not sure what it is right now,
I
but
think up and down would be a really cute bag tag.
yeah. Well, that was the design for sure.
Yeah. Okay, this next font, there's a superhero flossette who already stitched a sample of this.
Yeah, so Anne, who many of you probably talked to, she's here on Thursdays and many Saturdays. She's been a part of the shop for 25 years, I think, before my time. And she said she loves to do bag tags. That's just like her thing. Like at almost every flossette who's had a birthday, she's made them a bag tag. And so I'm flipping through here when I was at my cottage in my advanced reader version, and I'm like, she'd said, I'll be happy to stitch a sample of a bag tag. And I saw these pumpkins, this pumpkin font, and I'm like, I have got to send her this way. I mean, it is just the
So it's-
cutest thing.
It's each letter inside of a pumpkin.
It is so
And on
cute.
18 mesh, it turns into this size.
So, and Anne managed, I think I sent this to her 2 Saturdays ago, and she stitched it and finished it for us in time for today. She's such
she's
a
a
dear.
superstar.
What we were really hoping, to be honest, is that it would fit inside the tombstone. And the tombstone is probably 1 row on each side too skinny. So if you were a little braver, and Anne would have been brave, you could have just made this slightly bigger, but we were afraid that like that was maybe going to be too
Yeah,
much
the
for some
circle looks
people.
great.
So the circle is absolutely darling.
And then another place I would put that pumpkin monogram is I would turn this into a clutch,
So let's
and then I would
pretend
put
that's
that right there.
And then do like,
I would make
a
this
solid
solid
color?
and then make that where I'd put my pumpkin background.
and then what would you do down the middle? Because this is supposed to be an eyeglass case. and
Yeah,
you said
down the
you're
middle I
gonna
would do stripes. I think it would look so
I
good.
would make the
vertical
stripes
stripes?
a little bit wider so that pumpkin font, like,
Fit in the middle.
and just stitch like the solid stripes a little wider so like it can
I love
say,
that.
like, you know.
And you'd only need to add a couple rows.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm very symmetrical, so I would want this little pumpkin. Let's see if I can hold this up. Smack in the middle. How cute would that be?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
love
gosh,
that.
brilliant, brilliant. Feeling groovy.
Yes. So the next font is Groovy, and it is just like it sounds. Just very like you called it Partridge
Hey, we're the
Family.
monkeys.
Yes.
We like to monkey around.
And then I thought that it would look very fun on this Maddie Sweet Bubbles canvas.
Cute.
And I also found this on the wall that I just really like. This is Casey Ann from Ampersand, and I think that would be just like a fun.
Oh my gosh.
Monogram in the
And this
corner.
is big and bold enough that it's going to show because
Yes.
this is 21 high. So
Yes.
and it's on 13 mesh. So 21 is going to be about an inch and a half if I'm doing my math right.
Yes. And then when we were at dinner last night, so I had no intention of this. This next font comes in a couple sizes. It's your traditional Old English font. This is your baseball team's logo.
It sure
I
is.
thought that was cool.
It sure
I saw
is.
that's the
We
place
love
last
the
night.
Tigers.
Yep. So I
Not
thought,
quite as much as the Lions, but we do love our Tigers. Okay, this is the whole mind-blowing like.
okay, you've now been walked through most of the first half of the book. So now everything else is the second half of the book, and it's its own section.
They're all related and they're all cousins.
Yes.
Okay.
And this was inspired by our friend Jessica asked me, hey, can you make me an alphabet at a 30-degree angle? So not straight and not 45. She's like, I need one at a 30-degree angle. And I was like, okay.
This is such a Jessica request. I love it. She's
No,
like,
it's perfect.
Her and her detail
She has
is
a vision.
amazing.
She has a vision.
She
yes.
does. And she knows exactly what she wants
And I created half of the
amazing.
book because of it, and so I'm so grateful to her for even like having a vision.
love it, love it.
And so I started just going A, B, C, D at 30 degrees and kind of working through that. And then I thought, well, if I'm gonna do it at 30, I should also do it at 15. I should also do it at, each angle. And then it just took a turn. And literally.
Should we show the sample you sent to Liz
Yeah.
first? Because
Yes.
I've seen this and I'm having a hard time following what you're saying. So this Liz has stitched, and of course I forgot to pull the complementary lion's color. But Liz, what font is this on the bottom? Do you remember?
That's from the book. That's the one we showed with the azalea belt. So that fits perfectly in a belt.
Okay. So of course Liz added her name, but Chrissy had
It's every
Painted
letter at
this
every
for us.
angle.
I mean,
Facing in and facing out.
and tall,
There's
and
three
lowercase and uppercase.
Yes, and so your A first faces out so that you can make arch shapes, and then it also faces in so you can make smile shapes. And so both are provided.
So this is an arch, but there's a chart there and of course now your letters are upside down, but it could say Flossette this way.
Yeah, like
So.
if I was making something for my niece, I would make it say Ryan in a smile because that'd be so cute.
Like
So
show
cute.
the cover of the book.
Okay, yes, and in the front of the book, we did fonts just like up in a loop to try and show it off. Yes.
So let's go back to what Jessica was asking you to do.
Yes.
What ended up happening with hers? How does that translate to this?
So, and this is all written in the instructions. There are multiple pages of instructions. So each letter is provided around a curve in 15-degree increments. So they are at 0, 15, 30, 45. So we know 45 to be like our midpoint if you're thinking about it on a clock. So there's your up and down one, and then now is your pure 45, and then your pure side to side. So I think about this as like 12 o'clock and 9 o'clock, or 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
Gotcha.
Your 45 is right in the middle, and then you have every 15-degree increment between those available to you.
Okay, so and 3 different font sizes.
Yep.
Facing 2 different directions and all 26
Letters.
letters.
This is why the book is 200 pages.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of use for this. Our other friend, a different Jessica who novels needlework, just said this would be so great for the edge of a tree skirt. It would be so good.
Yes.
I looked up and saw the little lampshade behind
The
you.
mahjong lampshades.
And I was like, you could easily like curve a letter around the lampshade. In fact, the original Jessica who wanted that, you told
Yes.
her about it. She's stitching again a pair of shoes that curve. So you want that curve around, like anything that's going to be round.
Yes.
will be perfect for
Three-dimensional.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a couple different ways to use this. You can just pick one letter at an angle and like call it good, and I have some examples of that. Or you can start building it into more.
So this is like the 2.0 version.
Yes.
Maybe the 3.0
Yes.
version, because maybe this is your 1.0.
Correct.
The first half of the book is like, you're braver, you're doing things a little bit different, a little bit larger.
Yes. I would
And
not
then-
start here. I would make sure you're
Yes.
comfortable transferring to scrap canvas or to the margin of your canvas, and then get going with this. Yes.
Yeah.
Then you can just get crazy and join us. I love it.
Good. Okay.
So to go back to what we were talking about earlier, I painted this flossette first, and then I put the template around it to make that way I didn't have to worry about centering it. It was like one less
So
thing
it's
to worry
made for
about.
a 6x3?
6x3, yes.
Okay.
Because my thought was they could put it in a pop-in pouch and be like, I'm a flossette. I'm cool.
And there's all my needlepoint supplies,
Oh,
right?
I love that.
Yeah.
And
No cold.
sorry. Okay, so let's walk through, and we'll come back to this canvas of how I would suggest to paint that, but let's walk through like doing one letter and then work our way up from there. So if you just wanted to put one letter at an angle, I was thinking in this clamshell, you could just pick a letter that's like slightly tilted and put it in there if you are like a fun person who likes things slightly tilted.
So if your letter were
if you're cool like
Allie,
us.
you could pick this one, which some of these, like if you do a single letter, it's similar to your diagonal alphabet we kind of showed at the beginning.
Absolutely. It's gonna be the
But
easiest
it
way to
doesn't
use
give
it.
you the variations in order to expand upon that thought.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And that's the easiest way to use it is to just pick an A that's like a little off to the side and put it in your circle and call it a day. That's the easiest way to use it. And I think that ETS has a lot of canvases that lend themselves to this. She has a lot of stuff that I stitched the Mimi frame from her, and I think that would be fun to have angled letters in the circles or in the dots.
Really cute. This is Elizabeth Crane Swartz, so available but not discounted.
Yes, and this is another stash canvas I have that I think would be really fun. These tiny letters in the middle at the 45-degree angle to like up in his tentacles, like sneak a K
And this is
at an angle.
this is part of Blue Ridge Stitchery's, what does she call them?
Boozy sea creatures.
Boozy sea creatures. So I think there's 5 in the series now, all different
There's like a
kinds.
seahorse with the mint julep. They're all fun.
They're really
But I
fun.
think like hiding a K up in these tentacles at an angle would be like cool.
People
Very
are
fun.
freaking out, like loving these ideas with like the templates and the curves. Like everyone's like, this is the best thing ever.
Oh, yay!
There's so much knowledge here. Like, I mean, I've spent time with this book, and I've of course spent a lot of time with my templates. And Chrissy has like come up with so many things that I was like, wait, what did you say again? So
And then you find this is going to get saved, right? A lot of people want to be able to.
it's
rewatch
going to
this.
go on our YouTube channel, so you can absolutely go back to that
Anytime.
into perpetuity. Hey, how about that? I said that word.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that was 1.0, is just like putting one angled letter on a canvas. That was 1.0. So 2.0 would be like putting KJ next to each other at an angle, which was kind of like what Jessica was originally asking for, was so that
Okay.
she could put some initials at an angle. And how I would choose to do that is pretend your initials are AB. So I would pick, like we talked about on a clock, like 12 and 9 or 12 and 3. And I might count over to the 1, 2, 3. And I'm just gonna stick with using this third one each time, and that will produce those letters at the same angle.
Okay.
So I would go 1, 2, 3, and I would pick that A. And then I would go to my last name and go 1, 2, 3, and I'd pick that B. And so those would both be at 30 degrees. They would
Okay.
both be at the same. You don't need to know the number.
Right.
It's every 15, but that would be
At
the
the
same.
placement, the same placement. Just stay in the same spot.
Yeah,
and
just
you're good.
pick your same one each time, and that's going to give you a straight line. Okay, this is another stash canvas, which is a wool and the floss canvas from Home Stitchery.
Yes.
And I would put KJ just like right up underneath these cherries and extend the stripes down and include that in my shaped
So
ornament.
that's little, so you're probably gonna use that inner circle for that, most likely?
Yes, probably. And then
Okay.
I would just sneak them right in, right up at that angle. I think that would be That's
Really
your
cute.
2.0. So there's one letter and then like 2 letters in a straight line.
I think I can handle this. I'm with you, driver.
Yay. Oh, here's another thought I had. I have had a frame, it's my oldest whip, because I don't have a photo selected for it yet, and that's how my brain works with frames. So I want to have a photo for it before I turn it in, because I don't know which way I want it to go, and I want to personalize it. And so I've left this corner unstitched.
Can I give you like
A hint?
helpful hint? Most framers, something like this,
Would
will
kickstand
add
it.
a kickstand, and so you can
Don't-
still finish
But
it.
how do you personalize it?
Oh,
And
that.
so, yes.
Oh, that.
And because I have to have it personalized. And so if you were to put it at a 45-degree angle in one corner, well, now it's personalized no matter which way you turn it. Kind of like Liz's bag tag.
So you still have no excuse to not have finished it.
Now that I have this book, then I can put a letter. I'm going to put it at a 45 in one corner, and then it can go. It's
love
the
it.
Associated Talents cane one. It's so beautiful.
It
I
is
just
so
didn't
pretty.
know which way
Yeah.
to turn it. And so I think that this would be fun if you put a 45-degree letter right in that corner.
Really
and then it can go
cute.
either way.
Yeah, love it.
Okay.
And that was Chrissy's design, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Really sweet.
And then this is mine also, but there's some hearts at a 45 that I think it would be fun to stick one letter into also.
And you know what else? This is going to look absolutely
Table.
fantastic in the self-finishing table. So we have an exclusive that was rolled out in June, I can't remember, that has a scallop on it and available in 5 different colorways. And then the Needlepoint Clubhouse has the bamboo inspired one, which is available in 3 different colorways?
Not sure.
3 different colorways, okay. So they are both equally fantastic. The scalloped one exclusive here, the bamboo one exclusive to the Needlepoint Clubhouse. Beautifully, beautifully made in Amish country, all handcrafted, museum glass, every detail perfection. And you could have this out, of course, at the holiday time
Yep.
with your diagonal letter in the hearts.
Yes.
And then change it out to other holidays.
Yeah.
And maybe, and if you don't have a,
In your
maybe you
summertime.
have a year-round one that's your rainbows, because it's just so fun and exciting. So
Yes.
yeah.
And then I want to talk about why this is designed this way. That I love big open spaces. It's probably why I like to personalize things. And so the background is supposed to just be like very easy. You don't have to think too hard. You don't have to compensate too much. But then all these letters are skinny so that you can like stomach doing boucle on them. It's a very small area. And that's why I designed it this way. Because you can do fun things, but just like a little bit.
And I feel like it's perfect for my favorite parfait pink.
Yes. Absolutely.
I love that
yes.
color. Love that color.
And sparkle.
And of course it says ho ho ho. If you're seeing it backwards, it doesn't say oh oh oh. So just a side note.
Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, so we did 1 letter at a time, and we did like 2 letters at a time in a row. So let's talk a little more about curving letters. And putting them in
I'm
an
starting
arch.
to sweat a little bit, but I think it's going to be okay.
And more YouTube videos are coming, so that will be helpful.
Okay.
So how I did this floss set is like
How many letters is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
I'm assuming that's relevant.
yes, it is.
Okay.
And that it's in the instructions to care if you have an odd number or even number to know how many letters to put straight in this middle. So because it's an odd number, there's just one middle letter. And so I made the S that 12 o'clock, right? That straight number. And then each,
And you know what I totally want to do? I'm sorry. If I were working this, I'd be turning my page this way
Oh,
because
that would
that's
work
how
just
my
fine.
brain works. And I'd be like, okay, this is
That
gonna
can be your 12
This
o'clock.
is the center letter, and it's quite obvious that it's in the center.
yes.
Like that's just so much easier for
And,
me.
and it
So,
will be the same because that is straight exactly 90 degrees. So
okay.
So that center letter is right here, and then I just went 1 letter outside each and painted them in order.
So you worked your way
and
out.
Correct. So I just counted and I said, okay, this next letter is an E, so I'm going to the E page, and instead of the middle, I'm just going 1 over. And then I went to the T page and I just went 1 over to give it a curve.
Chrissy, can you talk about like the like I understand like the angles going 1 over, but like the spacing. So like you're like if you for instance this for floss set it's
Yep.
S and then like an E next to it. So if you
Yes.
go to the E page, you can see like
Yes.
where it starts in relation to the next letter.
So how I counted where to start this E is I went to the E page and I looked how it was in relation to the letter before it, and that's where I started it. And then if I know I messed up on at least one of these letters, if one of them you ever want to scooch over, you can just take your eraser or your corrector and you're like, okay, I want to move that up 1, then you can do that. And that's the point of the perk of starting on blank canvas or using a template too, is then you make all the adjustments you want, and then she could transfer floss that into, if she wanted it on this, once she had it how she liked it. That would be nice. And I walk through that on the YouTube channel video of, you can put it on blank canvas first, you can put it in your margin first, until you're like very used to doing it.
So let me ask you a quick question. Your YouTube QR code, is
Yep.
that a private link to this
Nope.
video?
Anyone, and if you just go on YouTube and look up Krissy Johnson Needlepoint,
That's
anyone
the
can
one.
find it.
And Chrissy is Krissy.
Yes. And that's
Johnson is Johnson.
very easy.
But lots of ways to spell Chrissy. So
Yes.
Krissy Johnson, Needlepoint. QR code's in the book, but you know, if you want
It's
a
a-
little preview, if you're like,
You
I
could just
think
go
I
there.
want to do this, let me go get a little bit more information.
Yep.
They can do that, and then they come back to the website or to the book.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so I sent this to Liz with just the curve, and then she even added Liz right here, which is very cool. I think that's
So
awesome.
cute.
Yeah.
With another one of your fonts.
And glitter. She glittered her name. She's very,
Of
it's
course.
very Liz.
Has to be that way.
Very Liz. Okay, so I grabbed some canvases I think would be fun to put a curve on. And I think since this floss set, we were precise with, like, we picked a straight letter and then we went down the sides. This is something you could be way less precise on. And you could just put some curve on a scrap canvas and make sure you like it, and then transfer it into a rainbow. And like, it doesn't need to be
So
perfect. It
cute.
can just be 3 letters next to each other.
So hold on. So you're saying, you're talking to someone who is like, I had to just make my books all square and all the edges match, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So this is a little hard for me, I'm not gonna lie. So you are gonna maybe take some blank canvas that is your play with, you're gonna pen these out.
Yep.
You're not gonna stitch them.
And make sure you like
Then
them.
you're gonna place that penned out piece either over or under.
Yep.
Under might be easier to see, and see how it's gonna shake out on your canvas. Is that what I'm hearing?
And that's the method I have on this first YouTube video, because that is how I do it. And so once I learn how some other people, how their brain works, I'll be happy to make videos that way as well.
Can I tell you how my lazy stitcher brain would do it?
Yes.
Because I am the captain of being like a
Please.
lazy stitcher and making your life easier. So for instance, like I look at this and I see my daughter's name right on those
Okay.
rainbows, which I think is so cute.
Oh.
So I would like eyeball it because again, I'm a lazy stitcher. So I will take the E's, right?
Tell us your daughter's name again.
My daughter's name is Eloise, right?
Okay.
So I like Melissa's idea of turning it like this. So I
love that idea.
I was like sitting over there and I'm like looking at like this rainbow like right here that's like kind of offset. And I was looking like, okay, well, it's not like, again, this is the lazy girl's way of doing it. I'm like, okay, this first E is like, it's not quite straight. It's probably that one, maybe this one. And I would pick my starting point. And then I would do like, okay, I got my E. And then in your way of like, okay, if I start with this one, then I'm going to go L-O-I-S-E. Like, you know what I mean? Or if it's this
Yeah.
one, like find your lazy girl way of like just eyeball it of like where you think that angle looks. And if you do one letter, you'll kind of see like, does this angle look right or does it look wonky? And then just keep going, spacing on
I
down
love
the line.
that.
Again, because I sometimes get intimidated with this kind of stuff of like doing the counting or charting it out. Like I just want to do it, and I'm okay with.
That's what I do. I just start stitching.
Me too.
Okay.
Like I'm okay with ripping if it's not right, but I'm also good with like good enough.
Yes.
But that's what I would do is like eyeball it. Like not like something like the floss out where you want that to be centered. That's a different story. But something like this where you're like, I don't know, is this one or this one? Like I would just like pick one and be like, go forward on the angle.
And
I love that.
the only thing that I would be careful of is just like don't pick a card of velvet that there's only like 2 strands left on.
Right.
Because there's if you wing it like you and I
Yeah.
both are saying that
Yeah.
that's how we would go about it, you're gonna probably waste some thread, but that's okay.
But that's okay because I feel like you'll know after the first letter, like definitely the first 2, like are my angles right or are they not right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just had to interject the lazy girl. You don't need to freak out.
I don't think it's
Plan
the
it.
lazy girl. I think it's like everyone's brain works different.
Yeah, totally.
And the instructions are written from my brain. And so if they don't speak to you, like let me know what works for you, and then I can hopefully make a video about that, because there's multiple pages of instructions with photos and circles and descriptions and everything like that. And if that does not speak to you, then like let's talk, and then I can help understand that. And then I don't know if we talked about this too much also. So the first page is all the letters facing out, and then the next one.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
These are obviously uppercase and these are lowercase. These are designed to be
Go
sized
together.
together.
Yep.
So if you were doing a lowercase, and we're gonna pretend these are different letters, like I would pick, my daughter's name is Allie, so I would pick this A maybe, and then am I picking that for the L?
For the L, yeah.
So it would be A-L-L-Y.
L-L-Y.
Okay.
And then this one is if you wanted to make it a smile shape instead of an arch shape. Because your A's face in this time.
Oh, gotcha. This is flipped.
Yes. And I have this fantasy in my head of stitching my huge ECS bench with like a squiggle letter. So I'm doing arch, I'm doing smile, but I need like needlepoint, something like that.
Love it.
We'll see how that goes.
Love it.
Or there's a Susan Roberts belt of Santa doing cartwheels.
Yeah.
And I would just put like
a bunch of times.
each
Love that.
letter doing a cartwheel of like a name, like BRETT, and each letter is just cartwheeling with Santa.
I love
That would be also fun.
Really cute.
Yay.
Okay, what else do we've got some more hidden
I grabbed
gems
some
over
more
there.
canvases. This is a stash canvas. This is from KCN, and it's just an acrylic insert with a football. And the team that I cheer for, we say MIZZOU, and
Okay. We'll let that happen.
yeah. So then I would put curved up here MIZ in that arch shape, and then underneath of it in that smile shape, the ZOU. So that
Cute.
middle letter is an I, that would be straight up and down, and then I would just go one off to the side for the M and the Z.
And building your way out.
Yep. And then for the bottom, I would make the O a straight, and then just the Z and the U would just be angled up from there. And then this would be an acrylic insert for going to a football game.
Perfect. Love it.
Yes. Okay. This one is another one of my canvases. And I think that this is just so
sweet.
fun. And I would put this in a tray or a table. And I think having a big like smile name on it for a birthday celebration or
Really sweet.
whatever would be
Or
very
you
fun.
could
Or a
do-
straight angle.
Could you do sorry. let me
Oh
turn around.
yeah.
Do happy birthday?
Yes, you could.
Yeah, that'd be really
Or
cute.
even Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, happy birthday. I love
And you
this.
could do it as a hanging sign with one of those big ribbons and hang it on
Whoever's
whoever's
door.
it was that day at your house.
Well, someone in my house is about to have a Christmas birthday, and so I need
get
birthday
with it.
things.
Get with it. You have to make that future baby's birthday very special. I was telling Chrissy earlier, one of my very best friends, since we were 12, her birthday is on Christmas Eve. And she, to this day, is the only friend that every year, come hell or high water, she gets a birthday present, and it's wrapped in birthday paper.
Yes, yes.
And like all my other friends, like I'm like, we're in our 50s. We don't really need birthday presents. We need to spend time together, but I still have to get her a gift.
A birthday gift.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, and then I grabbed two of Kate's pieces that have these angled open spaces.
And Kate Woodward.
Kate Woodward with the gingham
who is part of
stitchery.
the gingham stitchery, yes.
Yes. And because I thought this would be nice for it to say like the Johnsons or what Noel or anything you wanted at an angle, because it has these angled open spaces. And so again, I like your sideways holding of this. You would just
She's
I'm
learned
learning.
something from me today.
Yeah, you would just count over the angle that you chose, pretend it's 3. So 1, 2, 3. You just count over and just keep using that same spot each time, and that would give you that straight
So it's just
alphabet.
it's the diagonal alphabet from the beginning, in theory, but with choices.
Absolutely, yes.
It's like now I don't want it just on I think that one
At
was
45,
45
yep.
degree angle. So now you can do that straight thing, and if you don't want it like this, you can make it like this, because on this canvas, let's see if I can do this with both hands. This might not be exactly right. It might be better like that.
That
right?
way, yes,
Okay.
absolutely. That's the thought behind it. And I think that because these both have this open area, you could put your
Chrissy.
yes, or just like 3 letters hiding up here, but at an angle, tucked really tight to this leaf. I think that would look nice, and this could still be timeless throughout there.
And that is Kate Woodward's tobacco leaf stocking, which is just breathtaking. Wait, let's go back to this. This is 18 mesh, so this is a little of an undertaking. There's no way that this would translate well though on 13 mesh, because there's so much beautiful detail, including, what's his name? Doesn't he have a name?
Fancy.
Okay.
Fancy the Phoenix.
Including Fancy the Phoenix, but can you imagine just like some beautiful letters, just like making
Well, I think
it
you
a
could
true
create it as like a
showstopper.
decor stocking, like on the back of your front door to say like the Jovics or like the, you know.
A family stocking and a wreath. That
Or,
would
like
be
on
really
the back
nice.
of the front door here to be like the wool and the floss. or
Yeah,
something.
and
Oh.
year round, not holiday-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, so that takes us through the end of the book, each letter provided twice, and then again on that last page is a huge QR code that takes you to my YouTube page, but you can also just search Krissy Johnson Needlepoint on YouTube if that is easy for you.
And make sure to hit subscribe when you get
Yes,
there.
please.
Because that will let you know every time Chrissy releases a new video. And it's not like you get 10,000 emails because we're all YouTube subscribers, but you can set your notifications and then you'll know when you've done something new and fabulous.
Yep, and what's already on there, so the video that I'm uploading tonight is transferring that K to that luggage tag with the heart. Oh, I'm missing it. And then
let's see if I can find it.
what's already on there is a birthday plaid video. And so how the YouTube even got started is I had put the birthday plaid video on my Instagram, and a shop reached out to me saying they had a customer who doesn't have Instagram. So if you have a friend who doesn't have Instagram, then now they can find it on YouTube.
Well, and it is my I call her my Rebecca. Rebecca helps us with all our marketing, happens to have a 3-year-old, and she's like, I love watching you on Instagram, but trying to watch any of the videos with a 3-year-old who wakes up from their nap and you don't know when that's going to be. And YouTube will always like keep your spot for you.
Yeah.
And so she stops and starts and stops and starts and
Rewind
she just
everything.
rewinds that too. So yeah, it's really user friendly. And we've had a lot of great feedback, so I'm sure people are going to love it.
I hope so. The feedback I got on my birthday plaid video was very nice. And they were like, one person said, I was watching it and then I was kind of saying to the video, okay, I've got it. Like, you don't have to keep explaining. And I was like, good, that means I explained it thorough enough.
So you can fast forward.
Yes.
And you can go, wait, I got to hear that again.
One more
hit
time.
Rewind.
Yes.
Yeah. So good job.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. Have we covered everything?
I think so.
Okay.
Book 1. Book 2, new bag tag charms.
And
I
all
believe
of
in you. You can personalize your canvases.
Most importantly, Krissy has made it very, very easy. It is far easier than it kind of feels. So everything is on our website, with the exception of the trunk show is going to go up tomorrow after it's already up?
Oh, yeah, tomorrow, you're right, tomorrow. You're right,
Okay,
you're right.
so anything that we're ringing up, anything that was claimed today, we want to ring up before we put it live on the website. So if you caught the tail end of this and didn't see the live, all these canvases will be available on our website, most likely around lunchtime tomorrow, because I think we're going to ring them up during unboxing tomorrow. If you want to combine anything you buy today with anything you might buy tomorrow, we can do that. We can't go back in time combining wise because we're actually in really good shape shipping wise. Thank you, Julie. So we will combine those, but right now, if you want to order the books on the website or the bag tags on the website, any of the other like tools that we discussed, Emily pulled them together into a collection.
Yes, although I believe all the Identipens have sold.
Okay, but those are very easy for me to reorder. So if
Yep.
there's something that we highlighted today that you don't see on the website, just send us a quick email at hello@woolfloss.com. We will get you taken care of. Again, our books are exclusive to us through market, October 17th. So I would appreciate your support because Megan and Lauren and Chrissy are all doing this because, we're women who support each other. And so we want to make this successful for them. And I want them to be able to do something with us like this again. So yay. So away we go. I know before we'd even started the video, we'd sold a number of boxes of books already. So it has been fantastic. We came in this morning with clouds and look at it's outside, beautiful
The sun
sunshine
came out.
again.
Your book brought the sun.
It did. So, Chrissy brought this out. She is just a ray of sunshine, you guys. She's as this genuine in person as she is on the video. She is fantastic. So, and I thank Lauren for coming as well. We've had a really nice time together, even if she still did beat me at Mahjong. But she did call me a worthy opponent, and she has played much longer than I have. So her saying that I was a worthy opponent was very, very nice. So we've had a great time together, and I'm so appreciative of both of you having come. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
And
I didn't get to see the new shop yet, so this is a really nice trip.
well, thank you. Thank you. It's been fun. We have enjoyed it. So thank you all. We will be back at this, if you can believe it, somehow live and ready tomorrow morning at 9:30, I think. I always reserve the right to have last minute bow out, but the plan is to be here tomorrow at 9:30 for our regular unboxing party. It might be a little bit more abbreviated than usual, but we will see you then, and thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you.
Bye.